Welcome back to Beyond the Scoreboard for episode 2. I'm here with Deontez, McCabe, and Michael, and we're going for round 2 of it. We got some new topics today. We've taken out the old in the MLB, and we're coming in with the NBA and NFL today. So, NFL topics we got today: Deandre Hopkins signs with the Titans. We'll talk about how that affects their team in that conference. Then we'll move on to the NFL execs. They rank their top 10 quarterbacks in the league. And then two interesting running back situations with Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs not signing the tags today. So we'll see how that plays out going on through camp. And then Calvin Ridley, he'll be making his return to the NFL after missing an entire year due to suspension. And then we got the NBA, Damian Lillard saga. We'll see how that plays out and we'll talk about it. Who had the best peaks? We have 9 players. Everybody chooses 3. And then we got a one gotta go of 4 players in the NBA. It's an interesting topic to debate. And then James Harden to the Clippers, if that's on or not. And we'll get right into it here. DeAndre Hopkins, 2-year, $26 million goes to the Titans, up to $32 million with incentives. And what's your guys' opening takes on that?
So honestly, I think Titans getting them. I know a lot of people probably think this is boring. It's lame. People probably wanted to see him on the Bills or maybe the Chiefs even. Some were talking about the Niners, but honestly, I think that that's a really big move for them. I really think Titans are just one of those teams that are gonna. I think honestly, a dark horse to be one of the top teams in the AFC. I really think they could win their division with D Hop now. Very well, he's by far the best coach in the division. I think that they have the best defense in the division. So I really think now adding D Hop, they still got Derrick Henry, who could easily be the best running back in the league. And then D Hop's gonna elevate Tannehill, so I really think they could win the division.
I think it's gonna be like a AJ Brown type situation. AJ Brown didn't really flourish. He was a star player on the Titans, but didn't flourish because it's just it's not a system made for wide receivers at all. It's made just to ground pound, and they don't even know who's throwing the D Hop. They have 3 QBs on their roster, and no one knows who's going to start day one. And if that's Tannehill, I think that's the best option for D Hop. I just don't know what he got out of this besides just the bag. 2-year, $32 million plus incentives. I think it looks like he's chasing the bag because the Patriots weren't willing to give it to him, I guess. So
Yeah,
I think this is not it's not looking good for D Hop.
and well, adding on to that, yeah, you said it's only 2 years, 32 million max. And you're gonna wonder and ask yourself, why couldn't the Patriots match that and put a top receiver on their team to help out Mac Jones in his development, and honestly his coming into the NFL as one of the better quarterbacks, and he could be on that list if he has D-Hop next year, that top 10, because there are a few guys in that list I could say right now, well, he could be moved like Matt Stafford. They mentioned him. Yeah, but we'll get to that later. D, what's your take on it?
Is that public information? What the Patriots ever offered them?
No,
No,
no, but the fact that he signed for 32 million only
Right.
2 years, they definitely weren't giving him more.
Which they definitely got. They could have afforded that. I don't know. I think it's interesting because I think if the Patriots offered anything close to what the Titans gave them, I think I would have went with the Patriots because first off, I think Mac Jones is a better passer. Just based off passing, I think he's a better passer than Ryan Tannehill. But I get it. You got Derrick Henry, so
a better defense.
And a better
Yes.
The Titans defense
On paper, a better defense. Maybe
Yeah, I'll give it
Belichick,
on
how he
paper.
coaches makes it better.
Oh no, the Patriots defense is definitely better.
Yeah, I see what you're saying on paper. They're always good on paper. I don't know. And back to what McCabe said, one of the top teams in the AFC, I 100% disagree. I think they will win that division, but I don't think they'll be one of the top. I think it'll be like a Buccaneers situation where they make the playoffs because they win their division. But
no, I think they won't be obviously I don't think they'll top team to win it all, but I think they have a chance to get 12, 13 wins just because of how easy their division is.
Here's the thing about their division, I really don't think that division is really even that. They're not that ass anymore.
Right.
They have a whole they have 2 new coaches. going into there, so they can flip their program from being a 2-win team to a 13-win, like like in the year. It's possible. I think it's possible. They drafted their QB for the future. They
Right.
like the Colts. The Colts, prime example, right? They have a solid foundation.
Yeah, but Richardson needs to play games. Like he's so underdeveloped. Like he barely played in college. Like he played so little in college.
Okay, I'm sorry. Like it's like, okay, why can't I feel like he's fine? Like they're saying like he's looking great. And plus, you know who his coach is? The same guy that elevated Jalen Hurts to the MVP caliber this year. If Jalen Hurts didn't get hurt the last 3 games of the season, like he would be MVP right now. And that's his head coach. Like he's gonna be in read option, all the easy stuff. Boom, boom. They're gonna be running the same offense as the Eagles ran last year.
Oh yeah, we'll see.
And Richardson, I think, is more built for that.
Yeah, we'll see. But get back to the Diop, I think it was a good. I don't think it was horrible. I don't love it, but I don't think it was horrible. I mean, I think it's still pretty impossible to guard D1 in one-on-one coverage, and I think pretty much every team they play is gonna have a safety roll down into the box to help stop Derrick Henry, which will make it obviously tougher to double team D-Hop.
But then,
go ahead.
They also got Traylon Burks, though, who's I think could pop off.
The rest of them I think is trash. I'm not going to entertain it.
Traylon Burks is nice.
And
I like
the other one? And
what's
the other kid's name? Akini Westbrook or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, but then they also have a really good tight end who was a rookie last year.
As a core, I think the receiving group is pretty trash, but I don't think D-Hop's the same, but I still think I don't think he's at the point where you can just throw like your best DB on him, like go guard him, shadow him, and think that's going to work the whole game. I don't think it's to that point yet, but I mean, like Mike said, chase the bag, get on not a contending team, but a playoff team. Not terrible.
He's going to get you in the dance.
Yeah.
We'll see, yeah.
Play one of the best running backs. I mean, the quarterback, like I said, I think Mac Jones is a better passer for sure, but I don't know. Ever since Tom Brady left the Patriots, they've been a lot more of a running team. I mean, they've always ran the ball, but he probably just wasn't messing with it, which I don't blame him.
Yeah, and the thing is with that division, like they might be a win now team, but that division is built for the future. Like you got Trevor Lawrence built for the future, young defense, young offense, pretty much. You got the Colts. I mean, I should say, like Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor aren't going anywhere for a while. Neither is Pittman. And the Texans as well. Like the Texans just got 2 guys, like 2 dudes, and then they're building around one of the best defensive minds in the game in D'Amico.
He's smart. He made the right decision. That weak ass division.
It's really a good situation.
It is a terrible division
for everybody else. And then I feel like the Titans can maybe take advantage these next few years, but they might fall off when D-Hop retires and Derrick Henry decides I don't want to get pounded every single year just to not make the playoffs anymore. Because running back market is absolutely destroyed. And instead of pivoting to the top 10, we'll pivot to that running back market right now. Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs not able to reach long-term deals with their teams, the Raiders and the Giants. Now, not on the franchise tag yet because they won't sign it. They don't want to play for that little money that they would be getting on that. I just want to get your guys' takes on it.
Man, the running back position is devalued now. Like it just game is changing. It's like an air it out game now. That's what it comes down to. I mean, just think about it. A lot of these big games, big Super Bowl, they come down to 2-minute offense. You're not running a 2-minute offense. So like you could throw not anybody, but you can throw any big back in there and pound out 5, 6, 7 yards every drive and go for it. When it's time to win, you passing the ball. So it's like the Christian McCaffreys, the Austin Eckler's, they're still going to be valued. Those are passing backs. Those are backs you can line up in the slot and go run the route. They have more value.
Saquon, yeah,
but I don't think as well. Not as well.
No, amazingly. Like, dude, Saquon. Saquon is juice. He was labeled generational talent.
I like him. I like Saquon over Eckler for sure.
The thing that
him and CMC are 1A, 1B.
Because they're the same. They were those generational talents.
Eckler's been getting it ever since he hasn't been as good as Saquon ever since he's been drafted, but he's been playing every year, like every year. You got to think about that. It's like, yeah, you are 1B. Like I'll give that to him, but it's like they're really just like, damn, if we give you all this money, what comes next?
Yeah, and the Saquon. The main thing with Saquon too is the guaranteed money they were talking about. They were so far apart in contrast talks was because he wanted the amount of like Derrick Henry was getting of guaranteed money, 2 years fully guaranteed, And the Giants were not willing to give that, even though they gave the bag to Daniel Jones just a year ago. And when you look at it, you'd say, why are you going to pay Daniel Jones and not pretty
Right.
much your entire offense in Saquon Barkley? But that's a decision for the New York Giants to make, and they've made it. And Brian Dable will have to determine how he's going to run his offense if he doesn't have his number one weapon.
But what
And
happens? Like, can
he
he just
can
not
hold
show
out.
up?
So
Yeah,
there have
I
been
think they were.
8
You got
holdouts
Andrew.
in the last
No.
16 years in the NFL in terms of running backs. The last one was 2020 with Alvin Kamara. And it's been one every 2 seasons, but this year, wow, it's a big difference. It's 2 in 1 year, which we don't usually see very often. And they won't get fined. They're not under contract, so they can
Right.
hold out as long as they want until the regular season. Then they'll miss game checks.
Yeah, I know. And honestly, like Saquon, the 13 mil wasn't cutting it. And then if he plays the 1 year, if he just signs a franchise tag, which they want him to do, it would just be 10 mil. And like honestly, I don't think that's not even close to enough as much as he's worth. Like you think about it, like the year he missed, Daniel Jones was god awful. This next year, Saquon plays an amazing year, and I think he elevates Daniel Jones, and he basically got Daniel Jones's bag. And really, like there were so many games where they just handed off to Saquon, little
The
out to
first
Saquon,
season-
just
first
he
game of the
just
season,
eats.
Saquon. Like, I feel like just exactly what you're saying, McCabe. Like that team, like has finally been something this past year because Dable's a great coach. He got the draft picks are starting to pan out on the O line. Like things are starting to like shape out, and like Saquon, like when he was getting injured, all this stuff, like he's getting like 30 touches a game, just getting burnt out and not even like getting in the yard because the O line's so bad. So he's just getting hit in the backfield every time I'm in the fight. When this year he didn't really have to do it. Like he just was the whole offense, and it worked out well to the point where they made it in the second round of the playoffs. And I mean, they only got better in this offseason, didn't get worse at all. And I don't know why they're trying to, like, break something that's not like broken, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
Not broken.
oh, you got it, Andrew.
well, they got a game-changing wide receiver in Jalen Hyatt. He was in college, and we'll see if Dable can do the same thing that he did with Gabe Davis, where he turns him into that one catch, one touchdown type of player in the NFL as well. And that's just interesting to see. They're very high on him. They were very happy to get him in like the pick 70s in the NFL draft. And now that we'll see how he does in his rookie season, but like also that receiving core, like you look at it and it's not one of the best you'd ever seen. It's not a playoff worthy receiving core, and that's going to be interesting to track, even though they weren't even in the Deandre Hopkins sweepstakes.
It wasn't like a super good quarter this past year, was it?
No, it
Right.
was
It
they
wasn't.
they
was
gave that
mid as
bag
hell.
to Galladay. Like they have not made smart decisions in the wide receiver room
They
since
did get
OBJ
Darren
left.
Waller though. Darren Waller, I think, will boost.
Yeah.
It'll boost them up a
That
little bit.
well. If he can stay healthy, stay off the drugs.
For real. Nah,
Well,
he's sober. Come on,
he's
man.
clean for a long time,
Oh,
and
He's
also
sober.
My fault.
yeah, but also like the injuries are there for Waller too. That was one of the reasons the Raiders said they couldn't deal with that anymore. How many games he missed every single year. It's hard to make the playoffs when one of your top offensive weapons isn't there for over half the season.
It's gonna be harder if they don't pay Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, with Josh Jacobs, like dude led the league in rushing, like had crazy touchdowns, won them games in overtime with crazy runs. Like I don't know, man. Like I really just think the Raiders are just trying to
like the
really
Raiders
trying
are
to
downhill. Like
yeah, they're just trying to tank low key. Like
They're
maybe
confusing. That's what I'm saying. They're confusing.
maybe they just get Caleb
trying-
Williams.
I'm
they're
confused.
gonna-
They're trying to contend or blow it up. I'm like,
Yeah, but like the Caleb Williams thing, like didn't they sign Garoppolo to a 4-year pretty
They
big money
did,
deal?
yeah.
Like
That's what's just weird though. But
I don't
you
know
know,
how
Garoppolo
they'd
gets serviceable backup. You know,
yeah,
that's
but
kinda
like
what's
but
best
that
for a lot
amount
of
of money
teams.
with the salary cap is not a smart move
Yeah.
by your
like
franchise.
thing.
It
But I
seemed
mean,
like I think they went into this offseason with one view and thinking that they could re-sign Josh Jacobs, and now they have to look at it completely different because they can't sign Josh Jacobs and he doesn't want to play for the franchise tag, which they thought he would. And it's like if you see the quote that he put out, like he would sign the franchise tag if they built a solid team around him. And
right.
they didn't do that. They just
Mhm.
didn't do that. They added pretty much nobody, and they got worse, in my opinion, in the quarterback situation. I'd rather have Derek Carr than Jimmy
For
Garoppolo.
sure. Yeah, but then you also you look at the list CBS posted about his potential landing spots because I honestly don't think he'll go back to the Raiders,
Yeah.
especially him. I think Saquon he's going back, but with Josh Jacobs, I really think the best place for him. on that list is number 2 with Chicago. I mean, they got just Khalil Herbert right there right now, who is all right. But I mean, if you want to get him and Josh Jacobs, I think that's a really good 1-2 punch.
And Chicago is talking. Like, as far as roster moves, say what you want, but they're talking.
They got the money. They have
the money.
But the thing is, with the roster moves and all that, like the money is there, but also this team is trying to build a young group of foundational piece and then pay for the defense. Like that offense is very young. DJ Moore, Fields, Herbert, Komet's young, and they got Tunyon to back him up. It's like it seems like they're trying to go more of we'll spend the bag on the defense and not because they think they got something in Khalil Herbert and you have years of control on him. And he's cheap. Why would you go out and make a big splash on offense when you think your offense, after last year, you had a 1,000-yard rusher in your quarterback? Like, you don't have to if you don't want to. It would, and the same thing with the Eagles. Like, you have Jalen Hurts, you have DeAndre Swift, you have Rashad Penny. Like, the first 2 teams, even Devon Achane on the Dolphins with that running back room, like, all 3 of his top located destinations are teams that have a solid running back room already. It doesn't seem like the market is very high for Jacobs, which is so hilarious when he led the league in rushing last year. Like he's the rushing leader, and his amount of like warranted value is just not there.
Yeah, you can really just get a running back from the draft and burn him out, give him 25 touches a game. He's gonna look good, but then once you realize you do that, you can just keep getting those drafts, and then he's gonna want money, but you're not gonna give it to him because you can just go draft another dude in the 4th, 3rd round, get a stud. He's going to come in. You can burn him out, use him as much as you want on that rookie contract. And then when it's time to pay, they're just going to say, see ya.
Yeah,
it's
I think, go ahead.
Sad. I think it's like hella sad because, I mean, Dalvin Cook, like a 1,000-yard rusher before, like last year, had like 1,200 yards from over 1,200 yards in scrimmage yards. And it hasn't been picked up by a team. Like, I feel like the running backs is just like right now they're just like becoming just recyclable. Like you have 4 running backs on the market that are all pro rushers. You have 2+ Pro Bowls. Like they're proven vets, and
No
home. Like it's sad to see because you see people like running backs like AP, like Sean, like Alexander, like all these like Marshall Faulk, like all these great running backs that they just like they have the miles on them because they were given like the keys to do so and the contracts to do so, but now it's just become a straight passing league. So you got to be able to catch the ball.
Yeah, I think it's just a great example of evolution of sports. It just shows how running backs went from being a 1,000-yard rusher can get you these big contracts to these running backs are almost 2,000-yard rushers, and they have no contract, no home. I think it just shows, like I said, the evolution of sports, and it's going to take a hit on the youth. I think for running backs, it's going to make people when they put their kids in sports not go and run the play and go up and hurry up and jump and play running back how it used to. I knew coming up in our age group, being a running back was like something you wanted to do. Like that was some fun. You always have the ball. You're getting tackled. You're always part of the action. People are going to take their kids away from that as they see it's a lot of like pounding ground. It takes a lot on your body, and it's not worth the money. They're not paying them anymore. So it's like, why do it?
Yeah, and that money transitioned to the big boys. The offensive tackles are now getting the bag because, like you guys mentioned, it's a passing league, and your most important players are your tackles, blocking the blind side and just the other side as well. Like edge rushers these days have become the best players in the league almost with Parsons, with Bosa brothers. Like there's numerous guys that are very scary, and your most important position is your quarterback, so you got to protect them. And we'll get to the quarterbacks. The NFL execs came out with a list today, according to Dov Kleiman, an NFL exec ranked Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Trevor Lawrence, Dak Prescott, and then Matthew Stafford 1 through 10. What do you guys think of this list? Who should move and who should not be in this top 10?
I feel like for 10, Matthew Stafford should not be there anymore. Like, sorry, like, he didn't play all last season, really. Had that nagging elbow injury and the tendonitis. He's starting to look old. But Kirk Cousins has been proven he's top 10 in every statistical category when it comes to QB stats. Like, doesn't really mess up all that much, has low turnover rates, and just I feel like he's so disrespected by the league.
You don't win.
He just he don't win when the lights shine brightest. That's the reason why I don't think he's on this list, because I think Dakota Prescott is the same exact player as Kirk Cousins, but he messes up a whole lot more, but still gets some love. But he gets
true.
I feel like they're the same player. So if Dak's 9 on this list, then Kirk should be 9A or 9B, one of those two.
It's everything's bigger in Texas. Like, everybody gets more attention when they play for the quote unquote America's team, and you're gonna get more love if you're in the spotlight every single week on national television, which the Cowboys usually are.
Yeah, looking at it first glance, really, I think honestly, I'm moving up Trevor Lawrence, really, after the year he had. I'm moving him up above Lamar, especially for him not playing.
Crazy.
It's not crazy. For the year he had, he won just as many playoff games as Lamar, so I'm moving him up.
What?
And then also I'm putting in Kirk above.
How many MVPs?
Okay, we're talking about that last year and going into this year.
Okay.
And then also I'm looking at it. I'm putting Kirk over Dak and Stafford. Maybe Dak. I would even take Dak out of the top 10, put Tua in there. If you give Tua a full season and you look at his stats through the year, like Dak, you're throwing, what was it, 15 picks in 12 games? Like, that's not top 10 worthy.
Y'all are missing, bro. Y'all are missing bad right now. No one has mentioned Jared Goff, and I'm actually surprised. Like, Jared Goff, let's read the stats from just last year. 4,400 yards, 29 touchdowns, only 7 interceptions, and 100% quarterback rating. Like, that's one of the best numbers you're going to see from a quarterback. Like, he's 4-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, and he led his team to its best record in I don't know how long. Like, he's in Detroit, so maybe he might not get the love, but like, him not being in the top 10 to me is criminal.
Yeah, I like that.
I do like that as well. I do like that as well a lot.
Yeah. I like that you showed him love. I mean, he is building himself a home over there in Detroit, and I mean, he's looking like a new franchise QB for them. So I respect it. I mean, a lot of people don't pay attention to Detroit like that, so that could be part of it. But I agree.
I could say who's not even on honorable mentions, like that could be considered top 10, which I would put before Dak and Matt Stafford, is Geno Smith. After the year Geno had, he got his money, and especially looking up to this year, one of my Ohio State boys, Jackson Smith and Jigma, added to that offense with 2 other 1,000-yard receivers. Like, I think the Seahawks is that dark horse team that can really go all the way. They have a solid defense and all that stuff, and Geno just adds on to that. And I think he's a top 10 QB in the league. I think he led the league in completion percentage this past year, and he's just very efficient, gets the ball out quick, and I'll put him over Matt Stafford and Dak Prescott.
I like it, but I got a question for you three about the list. So coming to the season last year, Josh Allen was looked at as the best quarterback in the NFL, and on here now he's 3 behind Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow. How do you feel about Joe Burrow being above Josh Allen? Do you guys agree?
I think he clears
him.
Clears him.
I agree. I think Joe Burrow was better.
Josh Allen.
I thought he was better coming into last year when Josh Allen had the number 1 spot, and I think Burrow was 3 or 4. But I thought Burrow was the best quarterback besides obviously Patrick Mahomes since last year.
I think the media wants Josh Allen to be so good. I really think he led the league in interceptions last year on the Madden cover. He was ranked above Joe Burrow in those ratings all last year after Joe Burrow led his team to the Super Bowl, and then eventually it ended up beating them, knocking them in the playoffs badly. And I feel like the media just wants Josh Allen to be so good.
Right.
That's just what it tells.
Yeah, I don't know. But also looking at it, I really think Hurts a little disrespect. I think you could put him at the 4 slot and totally be fine over Rodgers and Herbert.
Yeah.
If you really look at it, I think last year he had that Mike was saying, he could have won MVP. And then I think going into this next year, I really don't see where Rodgers and Herbert are better than him going like next year.
Mhm.
And yeah, I don't know. I think a little disrespect right there, but I also think Trevor Lawrence jumps up, and I think he has a better year than Justin Herbert this year for sure. And I just think with the weapons they have, it's kind of I don't know. I just really think that he's on the come up. And then Lamar, I know he's in a tough division, but I don't know. He's got some weapons now, so it'll be a new coach. It'll be interesting to see how he does with the new offensive coordinator they got.
Yeah, and speaking,
I'll put Hurts at 3 for real. To be completely honest,
I mean, you could argue that now after that season that he had last year, but you need to see it over numerous years, I feel like. I think if he puts another year like that together this year, 100%, you can rank him as a top 3 quarterback, but I think just that Allen's been there in the spotlight now for what is it, 2 to 3 years, and has been one of the best in the game doing it at that level. But you
So yeah,
guys,
I was saying Hurts goes over at 4. Keep the 3, and then Hurts right at 4.
I wouldn't even say.
Above.
I just don't like. I don't know like how like Josh Allen hasn't been to a Super Bowl, like so that's just one knock. Like,
That is
Mahomes.
like he
Mahomes.
hasn't been to a Super Bowl. Like
Mahomes. It's
It's
Mahomes.
hard. It's
Mike.
hard to beat Mahomes.
Oh.
I think Burrow gets so much praise just because the fact he's able to beat Mahomes. Period.
Yeah.
like, but the thing is, like, right? Joe Burrow had that one crazy year, and we start putting him in the top 3. Why can't we do the same thing for Jalen Hurts?
I don't even think his year is that. I think
He's 3-1 against Mahomes, Mike. No other quarterback in the league is like that.
him having the best of Mahomes record wise is why we look at him.
shoot, they calling it Burrowhead now, bro. Like Travis Kelce and
Not too many
Mahomes
people
are getting
do.
trolled
It
about
was
it.
no Burrowhead in January. It wasn't Burrowhead in January.
It was close.
Yeah,
If you look at that game, the
If
only
it wasn't
reason
for
the
Nugget
Chiefs
hit
won,
on defense,
yeah, the only reason they
Push
won is
Buddy.
that hit him out of bounds, and it was
if it wasn't for Nugget hit, it might have been Burrow hit.
Yeah, and speaking of another young upcoming quarterback, you guys already mentioned him, Trevor Lawrence. He's getting back an insanely good weapon in Calvin Ridley. A year off after suspension, now gets his chance to be the number 1 again after he was in Atlanta. And he hasn't played a full season since 2021 or 2020, I should say. Had 1,300 yards on 90 receptions in ATL. Only 5 games in 2021, so it's been a long time since he's played a full season. I want to get your guys' thoughts on him.
yeah, that boy different. I think for sure. I remember listening to a podcast. I think it was the Pivot. Devontae Adams was on. And they were asking him like, who do you like top 5 receivers? He put Calvin Ridley in his top 5.
Everyone,
So that definitely says something.
like, I think I see a whole bunch of like these like kids going into the draft and stuff, and they like ask like who's your favorite wide receiver? They'd be like Calvin Ridley, the guy's like just smooth. I guess like he's always been that guy ever since back in Bama, just a demon. And I feel like you don't really lose the route running touch if like that's what you were gifted at, and that's like really what he was gifted at. And I feel like especially with that Jaguars offense, like they can't do anything but get better, and they just got just a great piece to their team. And I think
definitely 1,000 yards this year. I think for him. I think
him and Kirk both have 1,000 yards.
For sure. I think the receivers of our generation make achieving 1,000 yards look so easy now that like players of that caliber are gonna have no problems achieving that anymore. And another thing is like you can't drill anything like game situation. So I think it will take a couple weeks for him to get his legs back under him, get his wind back, and just get the feel back. But when Tim and Trevor Lawrence lock in and they get the offense rolling and Travis Etienne gets rolling, I think that team, that's a dark horse team that, you got to look out for. Obviously, that division isn't great, but if they get the best of the Titans, they might be coming out that division again.
Okay,
That's for
so
sure.
a little bit of a pause. So we'll switch gears. We got the NBA coming in. Summer League, as Deontay has texted us, we got Imani Bates in the championship tonight for the Summer League. But talking about just the league in general, Damian Lillard still in limbo, his situation and where he's going to end up for the 2023-2024 season. Where do you guys think is going to happen with that? Do you think he's going to have to hold out, or do you think they'll find a deal and a solution before the training camp starts?
They better find a deal before training camp. I mean, you got Scoot and Shaden. Like, I don't think they want to be dealing with all that Damian stuff when they just want to, like, it's our team. Like, they want to, like, come on.
I agree with McCabe. I think those players are looking to move forward and get better and focus on their careers. I think Dame is looking to do the same. I think Portland is really looking to move him before. They're just throwing out these cliche little whatever, just saying like they're not in no hurry and they're not going to send him just anywhere. I think they're just saying that, putting it in the media to make teams come correct when they do come. And I think they respect Dame so much where they're not gonna do it. And Dame's such a stand-up dude that I think if the deal don't happen, he's gonna go and play and give it his all. I don't really see him sitting out.
Yeah, no chance.
He's too stand up for that. Like I said, he gives so much to that organization and Portland itself that I think they at least owe him the loyalty to find some. It's got to be some team out there willing to send a good enough package, like a contending team, though. I don't think they're gonna do anything dumb and send him to Orlando for 6 first-round picks or nothing like that. But Mike thinks they should get what's best for them in return, which I think they should too. But
Yeah.
I think he's done enough to where they owe him some type of loyalty back to at least send him to a situation.
If you look at it, it's really, I think it's kind of similar to when the Wolves traded Kevin Garnett. Like Kevin Garnett was like, They were going to send him to Boston, but he was like, no, I'm not going to Boston. I'm not going to Boston. They sent him anyways. He made himself a good career there.
Was the Boston the best offer?
I don't know, but I know he really didn't want to go there, but they sent him there anyways, and he was like, I'm not playing. But then he ended up dead because he a hooper. He finna hoop. You don't care.
Hey, take D White and take two first-round picks in 5 years. We'll take Dame, add that to our lineup. I'll take that all day.
Tax and a motherfucker. Have you guys even signed Jaylen Brown yet?
No, but he's in a little NBA whatever PA association. He's in Europe right now, so like they can't sign him until he's back in the country and actually negotiating. But yes, they said
that deal.
They said they took steps and there were strides to both sides want it to happen, so it's most likely going to happen. 5 years, $295 million is the max. They haven't specified whether he's looking for the 100% max. He probably is, but if he takes a pay cut, not in a sense, that's not really a pay cut going for like 250, which is still $50 million a year. But it'll be interesting to see how that pans out as well.
Yeah, didn't they say a deal of $304 million?
Okay.
Somewhere on.
They can't pay him $304 million, bro.
It was but it was like one of the biggest deals in NBA history.
Gonna be the biggest deal.
No, the 5 year, 295 is for Jalen. I think it'll be 5 year, 304 next year when Jason signs. Like that's not this year though, because the salary cap will go up.
NBA history money.
Both of them are going to get NBA history money
because they ain't making NBA history championships.
Because they're the first players that are coming up like every single year. If you're a superstar, you've made all pro. And your contract is up, you're going to be like Lamar's. Like
I know,
Lamar got the most money. Yeah, it's just the yearly thing. Like in 4 years, when they're coming up again, they'll be either middle or bottom of the pack in terms of money that they got because the NBA just keeps increasing in value and increasing the salary cap literally every single year. So the money that players make is going to go up every single year.
Yeah, that boy better get in the gym, start working on his left hand.
I thought he was going to go to the Rockets, McKay.
Yeah, no, that was my prediction. Him and James to the Rockets, but definitely some hot
too many
takes.
guards there now. Too many guards there. He's definitely not. And they spent a bag on Dylan Brooks and Van Vliet. So there's probably no cap there either.
Yeah, no, they can't sign no big names anymore.
Overpaid for both.
Okay, so now we're moving on to who are the 3 best peaks. We got 9 players. We got Anthony Davis, James Harden, Dwight Howard, Damian Lillard, Russell Westbrook, Carmelo Anthony, Paul Pierce, Joel Embiid, and Chris Paul. Everybody gets to pick 3, and we'll move on from there, and you guys can debate whenever someone says something that you don't agree with.
Right. So y'all heard the list. I'm sure we'll have a graphic up of it. Now, off back, I picked 2 players. It was kind of hard. It's 9 people. But off back, I had my 2 because their peaks are like some of the greatest peaks that we've lived to see, obviously. And those 2 are James Harden, which look at his stats. At one point at his peak, he averaged like 36 in a season.
Yep.
I think that was the first player to do it since Michael Jordan, which was insane. But then obviously Russell Westbrook averaging a triple doubles for 3 or 4 seasons in a row. You know, post KD, he had the MVP season. He was still going to the playoffs. He was getting bounced first round or whatever. I mean, none of the teams were that great. He had the one with Melo and PG. They were calling the Big 3, which I never understood why. I didn't know what was big about Melo at the time. He was a good role player, but whatever the case may be. I mean, PG had one of his MVP caliber seasons there. That was a good season. You know, Dame cut that short. But the last person after like thinking about it, going over, thought about AD. I think he's still in his peak. I don't think his peak is crazy. I think his championships, obviously, because of LeBron. Obviously, a great defensive player. Fun fact, I just learned AD. I don't think he has a defensive player of the year ever.
No,
I just learned that like not too long ago. I don't know why I assumed he had like 3 of them. At least
No.
should have like 3 of them. He has 0.
he's definitely a top defender in the league.
That definitely blew
year.
my mind. That I disagree with, but I definitely think the third person on this list I have to give to Dwight Howard. Say that one because when he was at his peak, he was insane. Like competing with everyone, he can guard legit 1 through 5. There's no switch off a screen mismatch. He was faster than half of the point guards. Obviously, bigger, taller, stronger than everyone. Had that finals run, lost to the Lakers. Kobe, I think 2010. I think it was 2009 or 2010.
Yeah, brought his team to the finals.
I was really young, and I still just remember a lot of the things Dwight Howard was doing at the time, and I don't think nothing competes. I think second, third best player on that team was like Jameer Nelson. It's like Jameer Nelson, like he carried that team.
Yeah, that is crazy.
It's really similar to the LeBron 2007, 2006 Cavs run. It was like they didn't win, but it's like when you take a team like that, like you can't do nothing but give kudos to those players.
And I got the exact same list. Like, I feel like a lot of these players, like they're just like they were good in their own way. Like, you could probably throw CP in there, but like Harden,
Mike. Not Chris Paul. He probably the last on the list I'd ever
Right. His peak was throwing lobs.
No. I got the same exact list. I'm saying like if you were to like, I don't know, if I was to think of someone else, maybe
like a 4, like the 4th,
like a 4th, like it would be Chris Paul.
It would go to Dame or Paul Pierce.
I don't know why, because I feel like I still think Chris Paul a cone at the end of the day. But
what gives Chris Paul the edge over Dame?
Yeah, Mike. He's like the 9th best person on this list.
I think the only person I would give him above is Joel Embiid because
not even Embiid's got an MVP.
Oh,
fine, but they mean peak.
I'm talking about.
Yeah,
a span. Chris Paul it's been good for like Chris Paul just started declining. After the Rocket. And he's been in the league for so long. He has
we're talking about when they're at their best. So they're best.
His best.
Their best.
This is his best.
But their best though, not just one season though, McCabe.
I know, but like Embiid the season before, he could have won another MVP.
The first damn 3 seasons, he ain't been in the league that long. Like it ain't that long. It's less than 10 years. What is like 7?
Bro, Embiid is over Chris Paul.
First 3 he didn't play.
Dude, McCabe, listen to this. Bro, listen. Bro, this is Chris Paul's peak. You want to hear his peak? This is his peak. A 2-time gold medalist, bro. He's a 2-time gold medalist, a 9-time.
Talking about gold medals right now, dude.
Bro, he's a 9-time All-Star. He's an All-NBA first teamer 4 times, second team 3 times, named to the all defensive first team 7 times, and second team twice. Like that is his best. That's Embiid's
All NBA.
That's not even close. Like Embiid hasn't even been in the league enough to do nothing like that. Like Chris Paul has been so dominant for so long. Like that's why I feel like.
Wait, how many All NBA teams has he made?
Bro, All NBA teams. You say he made? Bro, he's made 7.
Okay, Embiid's made 5, and he's also has 3 defensive all teams.
Okay,
and he's definitely still got
9.
Chris Paul has 9 defensive all teams.
Chris Paul was nice at defense. I love him in
as a 6-foot point guard.
Might be
bro. I don't know though. He doesn't have the MVP though. And if we're talking about peak, Joel at his best.
I'm sorry. Okay, best, but all right. Say all right. If you
think Embiid peak is better than
Embiid shouldn't even have won MVP this year. So this MVP
crazy.
That he has
sounds crazy.
Jokic was the MVP the whole year.
No.
Yes, he was. Dude, the 76ers weren't even the number 1 team in the fucking East.
The 76ers had more wins than the Nuggets. They had more wins, okay? They had more wins, and he also averaged 33.
They weren't even the number 1 team in the East. They weren't even the number 1 team in the East. The East.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
No. The Nuggets were the number 1 team in the West. The West, brother. The West. the West is significantly harder than the East.
Well, also, but you can say that, but the win totals, like I think they had like the same amount of wins, or like the 76ers had more wins than the Nuggets when the year
Yeah.
came to the end. Like they had a lot of win. Like the
On
76ers
paper,
Yes,
weren't
you're
some
right.
on
pushover.
paper,
It didn't
on paper, the
sound
East
that
is better
they
than
were up ahead a lot.
It's different when you're seeing like, bro, it's the West. Like you're playing Stephen Curry like how many more games? Like 3 more games more than the East teams playing Steph in the season. Like who else? You're playing LeBron more. Like you're playing the Suns more. Like
Mike, you're recency bias, okay? It's recency bias. You just saw
that's not
Jokic win
the
them
East.
that finals.
The
Like that's
West,
why you're saying that.
no, the West has always been better than the East. Like it's just known history.
All right.
And
Andrew,
so
do you have your 3 on this list?
Mine were Deonta's. Mine was definitely Dwight Howard, Harden, and Westbrook. Westbrook number 1, Harden 2, and Howard 3.
See, I got you got Westbrook at number 1, you think?
I
Dude,
agree. I have the
averaging
same
a triple
over
double for how long he did, like
4 seasons in a row.
yeah,
Okay,
like
but he never
that's
carried his team nothing. He's had good players with him. He
yeah,
hasn't
but
like
what?
when he's at his peak, he can't
Okay,
do
but
he can't
they
do nothing
what
but
did
get
they
those
what did they
stats.
both
Harden won
win?
nothing. Dwight
What
Howard
did what did they
Harden went
win?
to the conference finals.
Yes, but that's not a
And took
championship.
okay,
That's
but
know
he
what
took
they-
the best
McKay-
team of all time to 7. And they
Bro,
should have won that
West-
game 7.
Westbrook
Westbrook took the 73-9 team, the team with the greatest record of all time, to 7 games too. You know?
KD took them there.
Oh my gosh, KD is a bomb. KD is
Bro, no. Think about it. Westbrook took them to 7, and then they lost in 5 that year. Like Harden took them to 7, LeBron lost in 5. And Harden's team was dog too. Clint Capella was his
you give Harden first.
Harden first. Then I'm going.
So you think scoring is that value that his peak is better than averaging a triple double for 3 to 4 seasons?
Yes, I think 36,
Averaging
8, 7,
31,
or
10, and
36,
10
7,
as a
6. It's around there.
31, 10, and 10 as a point guard. We think Jokic is insane. He should be getting them rebounds. Now the assist is crazy. Westbrook is a 6'3" point guard. He was averaging 31, 10, and 10.
But we all know
He went to the-
they were just letting him grab the ball and run.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
Everyone knows that
if that was the case, bro, that's not easy.
It's not easy, but dude, what Harden was doing,
it's
like
not easy. I'm not
36,
saying it's
8,
easy.
7.
But like his rebounds, he would get 5 rebounds where like Steven Adams is purposely running down the court.
Hey,
So,
but
like,
if we're going to nitpick, let's talk about Harden. Like half of his points
break
would
it
not
down.
would not count in this year's NBA because he just sticks his leg out and just would draw a foul that
we can
really
say the
wasn't a
same thing,
foul.
like
You
it
can
was-
nitpick a
alright,
bunch
so-
of different things.
so-
we could say a if about every single person on this list. So it's like
Like you could
That's not-
like, and also like and then you can say if like Dwight Howard, his peak wasn't as long as people would want it to be. Like he
was just
fell
on
off
the peak.
dramatically, but
I
his
feel like his
peak
peak
was
was a-
insane.
I feel like from 04 to like 2000, like 11, 12, like whenever he left the Magic, he was still like that's a pretty
He
long.
was fine.
That's like
I
a
don't think
decade.
he was the same at all ever since.
Yeah, he was not the
wasn't
same. No, he was fine.
I'm saying, but like I feel like his peak was like a decade long. Like he was a solid player, like a great.
All these other players were pretty dope when they
Who-
left. Like Westbrook leaving, he went to a team who had legit had a 10% chance of making the playoffs when he got there, and he took them to the playoffs.
Hey, so we all have like the same 3, obviously, but who are y'all putting at the 4? Just
I said
poke
Chris
one.
Paul.
Chris Paul, who you got, D?
You have to say Chris Paul. Like it's like
No, I got Paul Pierce.
Like,
Or
it's-
AD.
I
it's
think
kind of-
I have either Dame or Paul Pierce. I think
Dame
I
or Paul Pierce.
I think
I mean, Paul
mine's-
Pierce got the Finals MVP.
yeah, he do, and like he was on the super team, but I promise you he was the best one on it.
Yeah, he was definitely the best one.
Best one.
AG was old. He was definitely the best one.
Mine's different than all yours. Mine's Carmelo Anthony. Just because
Whoa.
when I grew up, bro, like watching the NBA, dude, like that guy to me was Carmelo Anthony. You just turn on the game and like you'd watch one of the most dominant performances. Like that dude just pulled up from like anywhere and just knocked it down like with ease. Like those Knicks teams and what was it 2014, 2013, like
J.R.
were-
Shumpert.
they were
I played
insane.
on 2K back then. Promise you, Amon Shumpert, him, Jr. Amari Stoudemire, like them teams were. That team was dope. I mean, I'm not mad at it. I don't like the Chris Paul F4 that much.
Yeah, Chris Paul is a terrible take.
I get it
I
though.
don't understand. Like it's just like, dude, the man has been good for so long. Like,
He has.
like this is recency bias that you guys are saying. Like, no, like if I swear, if this was like 2-3 years ago, you're saying,
I
oh,
know.
like
Okay,
the
No,
man,
but
remember.
like the man's been good for almost 2 decades.
Hey,
Like,
but my thing I'll say is like, yeah, you can't say none of these 9 guys. You can say no, he doesn't deserve to be on this list, or he doesn't deserve to be 4 through 9. I think
Yeah.
the top 3 was the thing that I feel like people had to either debate or solidify, but I think they're pretty much
Hard.
solidified too.
Don't get me wrong. I don't look at it and be like, oh, easily. Like I don't at all. Like I look at it.
If we say we swap in, say we just put in Jokic in here. There's 10 guys. Are you putting him in your top 3? Jokic?
Oh, that would be the definition of recency bias.
Bro, think about it though. Like he's got 2 MVPs.
Yeah, no, he damn near could go in over Dwight Howard for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, easily
Yes.
over Dwight.
He should be.
I think he goes in at the 1 slot. I think he's number 1.
He low key might be the 1 slot. Yeah.
Dude, think about it, D. Like what he just did in the playoffs has
If
never
you put
been
him
done.
one, I say recency bias.
I think if he continues to do it, yes, 100% you can put him at the 1.
Bro,
But
he definitely just had one of the most impressive finals
He did,
runs
which
all
he
time.
did. He did. He had one.
And
of
like
most
the teams he
impressive
played
seasons
were
of all
not
time.
were
And
not.
So has the other 2 players have had one of the best seasons of all time too. At the time when they did it, like
I don't know,
Well,
bro.
like-
I think Jokic clears at the 1
see,
spot.
you just you throw that word clear around too much.
But like D, the man should be a back-to-back MVP.
He was 0.2 assists away from averaging a triple-double this year.
Like as a center.
He should have been. He should have
I
been a
don't-
3-peat. He should have been a 3-peat. I think he
Should be-
might
he
have got
should
an
be.
MVP. I think one of the other 2 aren't as deserved. But I think he did get robbed for this one.
But he already got 2. And they don't be like dishing out 3 in a row.
No, they couldn't do that.
LeBron, all them.
And that's funny because DeMarcus Cousins was on a podcast. And
Yeah.
DeMarcus Cousins literally said they're not going to give it to him because that's going to make him a 3-peat MVP.
They're
And
gonna make
it's
him
gonna
talking
put him in
about
uncomfortable conversations. It's going to put him in conversations of being one of, not the best center, of being the best player of all time. He was going to be in that conversation if they gave him that 3rd one. And DeMarcus Cousins said the NBA was not ready to have that.
He said, "Fuck it, let me get a Finals MVP."
hey,
right.
that's a conversation for another day. Will Jokic be in that GOAT conversation come the end of his career? But we're gonna switch gears a little bit. We got one gotta go. It's a graphic we saw from NBA Central. Emmanuel Quickly, Austin Reeves, Jalen Green, and Jordan Poole. Few new guys on there, I'd say. Jalen Green getting some respect to his name now that he's been in the league. Jordan Poole, new team. Austin Reeves showed out in his playoff performance with the Lakers. And then Quickly, very close to 6th man of the year this year. So good players on the list. Who would you take off?
I think
I'm saying AR-15.
What? Mike,
good.
are you
Mike.
serious?
I'm saying Austin because here's the thing. Emmanuel Quickly, it's like he's their heart and soul of the Knicks bench. Like
Mike, you just got clipped, bro. You just got clipped. That is probably he's the best one on that list. He's the best.
No, he's not.
Not.
No, he's not. Emmanuel
Like-
Quickly on the Lakers
oh
would
my
have
God.
sprouted just like that.
Like Jordan,
Bro.
Jordan might not had the best year, but
The
like
best end of the
not
year.
trash.
He
Like,
got punched, bro. He got punched to remember and forgot everything he ever knew. Like, you can't do that. Jalen
No,
Green,
bro,
too much
He
potential.
averaged 20 points a game. Like he averaged a career high this year. Like you cannot say Austin Reeves. Like Austin Reeves, love the Lake Show, but like my man averages like 13 points a game. Like
No, Mike, that's just not true. All right, can I
Averages-
read you some stats? Can I just say
like
Austin Reeves?
I mean, it's just not though. But okay.
All right, when LeBron went out, all right, when LeBron went out in the regular season and they were at the 11th spot they were the 13th seed. Austin Reeves, he had to carry the team to get back to really into somewhat in the playoffs. He carried them back, bro, without LeBron. Like
Okay.
he is nice, and in the
Jordan
Western Conference Finals, dude.
Okay. And Jordan Poole helped carry the Warriors with the Stars playing to NBA
To,
championship.
NBA
Him and Andrew Wiggins
yeah.
won. Curry is Curry. Like I'm not taking away none from Curry, Clay, and Dre. They won a
that's
championship because of Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins. So it's like you can like Jordan Poole
it's not Austin Reeves like at all. Like
So okay, say he's not the best one, but you're cutting Reeves.
yes, I'm cutting, bro.
You could, because I'm waiting for you to say Emmanuel quickly. I'm waiting for you to say that.
Emmanuel quickly,
good.
bro, was terrible in the playoffs. If you like this playoffs he was just in after like almost, or did he win 6th man of the year or no?
He should have. He could have.
Who won it?
Malcolm Brogdon.
Oh, okay, yeah, Michael. Okay, yes, I know. Quickly could have. I know he could have won, but then you look at what he did in the playoffs, and it was absolutely brutal.
Well, I'm looking at all the stats. Austin Reeves averaged the least points out of all four. And I mean,
but the thing is with quickly, like I honestly think people look down on him for that bad series, but that was like the Knicks got embarrassed just themselves. Like it was literally Jalen Brunson and nobody else. Like
Julius Randle won on none either. He was
Randle had just a collapse. Like you saw those videos of the New York fans like defaming his like stuff outside the stadium after the series. Like that wasn't on Quickly, that wasn't on Mitchell Robinson. That like they were all playing as hard as they could. They just couldn't get their scoring from Julius Randle. And I mean, dude, if Brunson is on like that every year, like, bro, that team could be so good. It's just if Thibodeau can put it together.
But hey, why are we not cutting Jalen Green? Because that's what I'm cutting. I'm cutting Jalen Green.
And I figured you was gonna say that the whole garbage 20 points, because I'm not even gonna talk about, but it's like it's the potential.
I know he's 21.
Everyone in this chat knows Jalen Green potential is higher than Austin Reeves. That's like what it is.
I don't think so.
I would say yes. I'd say
he was drafted 2nd overall because
you think if Austin Reeves reaches full potential, like all-star.
Yes, Austin Reeves is nice. He's nice.
It's gonna be his full potential is better than Jalen Green's full potential.
Jalen Green's not gonna reach he's not gonna be nothing crazy.
He's the 2nd overall pick, bro.
What makes you think Austin Reeves gonna be something crazy? Because he had a good playoff run. You saw Jordan
Poole performed when the pressure was on, he performed.
So did Jordan Poole last year.
Not this year.
NBA Finals pressure, not second round pressure, not regular season. We need to win a couple games pressure. NBA Finals, shooting.
Okay, and then he fell off, and now he's gonna go average 25 a game.
And Austin Reeves can't fall off. And Austin Reeves can't fall off.
Average 20 on this team this past year. Like, dude, he's fine. Like Austin Reeves. Like, bro, like this is a blasphemy take. Like, I feel like this was pretty easy. Like, dude, like this man averaged 13 points, cuz
I respect
13 points. Like, yes, they were crucial 13 points, like 100%. It's a crucial 13 points, but like Emmanuel Quickly, arguably 6th man of the year. He's gonna be the top 6 man going into next year, and he's gonna get a bag when his time comes.
Bro,
and he's gonna get it back when his time comes. Jalen Green potential, like, dude, like people.
We'll see.
It's all potential. Like
he hasn't shown me nothing. He hasn't shown me nothing. Like
they're not in a position. Everyone knows the Rockets aren't in no position to win.
You look at Segun, like he is going to be so much better. I think.
Yeah, and Segun averages less points than him.
You hear this, dude? Okay, put Austin Reeves on that exact Rockets team and put Jalen Green on that Laker team. Who you think you gonna think better?
Bro, no.
Like, be for real.
Like, bro, no, be for real. No, like, be like, bro. Jalen Green is gonna drop 20 a game. It's gonna be like a great 20.
Reeves is right behind AD and LeBron. Like, he's their third option, third best player on the team.
Jalen Green would be 2, and he would be better than Austin Reeves.
I don't think if you put him on there right last year when he's 21, so you put on him last year, he would not be.
Tell me if
Austin Reeves is young too.
He can't play make. He can't play make.
Who can?
Jalen Green.
What?
Too, because he more of a bucket than Austin Reeves.
He more of a bucket, but he can't play make.
Austin Reeves get LeBron.
Austin Reeves, he's
Austin Reeves in the pick and roll is nice,
bro.
Anthony Davis, I would be too.
Dude, anybody can run the pick and roll, bro. It's what your first time in basketball.
They're NBA players.
Like, bro, like lock in now.
He in a pick,
bro. Y'all don't.
No, but hey, the thing with the assisting, like the passing and playmaking, like Jalen Green over his career has averaged more assists, and last year he had more assists than Austin Reeves per game. So it's like he was still playmaking. He just wasn't the primary playmaker for the Rockets. I think that team is going to be very fun to watch over these next few years. I think the Rockets have a great setup with Ime Udoka. They spent the bag pretty much in free agency, So I don't think those guys will be there when they're at their peak, like in Dillon Brooks and Fred VanVleet. I think they'll be gone by the time they reach their peak, but I think the young core they've built is very strong.
Yeah, Segun's going to be nice, I think. I think
I think
he got
Sengun,
superstar potential.
Yeah, and another team that is looking to add possibly another team losing somebody is James Harden. The Philadelphia Sixers probably going to lose a superstar, and the LA Clippers, are they going to gain a superstar? James Harden has said multiple times, it seems, in confidence to people we trust, that he wants his likely destination is the LA Clippers. And I'll read you guys possible starting lineup and bench for the Clippers if that were to happen. It'd be James Harden, Paul George, Kenyon Martin Jr., Kawhi Leonard, Zubac, Russell Westbrook, Bones Highland, Terrence Mann, Mason Plumlee. That's their top 9. So that's a pretty deep bench, plus a solid starting 5. And I want your guys' take on that. And then, are they a top 5 team
I
in their
like it.
conference?
I like it. I don't love it, but I like it. I like it because, yeah, James Harden, season to season, he can have those naggy 5 to 10 game injuries, but he doesn't usually miss Paul George or Kawhi Leonard games like 20 to 40. So, I mean, Kawhi Leonard with the load management. So if that's going to be the case, you have another superstar in James Harden to make up for those games and help win a lot more of those games. So they are in a better position because I think they're a really good team this year. I think just them stars being hurt, that made the rest worse. And then they just got a bad matchup out the gate with the Suns. So I think James Harden will help, get take some of them wins, add some of them wins to the record, and they'll have
They
a better.
didn't near beat the Suns, even if just them two play. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
I think they just need. I don't think that the Clippers should add like James Harden like before the season starts or anything like that, or try to add another superstar. I think they need to just run and go with what they got they got from the second. Like because I think Russ is like the culture that fits the Clippers. Like he's gonna play every single game. Like if one of those players are out, he's gonna step in and make an immediate impact. Like you could give Russ the keys, like with that team, and they can still be a 4 or 5 seed every single year. Like they just were this past year.
That's true, but
I just don't think
both of them stars are out, PG and Kawhi. Just having Russ they're still going to be losing games, which you're going to put them in that 5, 6, 7 seed, which isn't good for them. I think they need to be more of a 4-3 seed and be trying to knock off one of those play-in teams, because if they're playing a 4 or 5 seed and they're stuck with the Suns or even
I just think
even the Kings, bro. The Kings are scary. Like they're going to be a top seed in the West.
Yeah, looking at this lineup, I really think the Clippers are just too small. Like you put Kawhi at the 4. Like you just seen the Nuggets who won. Like they were big. Like I think it's switching now. Like people were saying it. Like it's the league's going back to being like a big. You need like those 6'8", 6'9" guys that can play the 3. And then
Why
you need
6'8"?
Huh?
Okay, he's 6'8", but
yeah, just like a wing, like Michael Porter Jr. Like he's 6'8", 6'9", like boom, and then you got Aaron Gordon, 6'10", like you're having Kawhi at the 4 and then Kenyon Martin at the 3. Like I don't think that's gonna cut it. It's a little small. But I do like Harden, Kawhi, and Paul George. I think if you just get a 4, like some solid 4, like I'm trying to think who.
And their bench needs height too. Like Kobe Brown and Mason Plumlee are their best bench options for like just height in general.
Like you get
who's
like,
Kobe Brown?
He's rookie.
Jeez.
Come on, D, you got to know.
That's crazy.
But I think Harden, Paul George, and Kawhi, sneaky, definitely the best like trio. Like could be a very like.
Yeah, but hey, D, if you don't know, you better know. Like he 3 days ago, 35-8 in the summer league. Kobe Brown, like he's a solid player that I think could give them a scoring boost. But like you said, they might not need that if they're getting 3 All-Stars in James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George. It's just going to be the production and the ability to stay on the court is what I would say with them, because injuries.
Are y'all taking are you taking them that big 3 over the Suns' big 3? What do you think?
What's the Suns' big four right now? Like they got to get rid of Ayton
All right,
if they're
stop
gonna.
saying that Aiden is good. Like he all
Yes,
stop.
but their money
He
is
better
not
than Bradley
possible.
Beal. He's more
No,
worth than
Okay,
Bradley Beal.
but that
No,
money is gonna be
not.
that money is
okay,
not there for them.
okay. Beal, Booker, KD. Who are you taking? Them three or the Harden, Kawhi, Paul George?
I'm taking the Suns
You
because I
gotta
know
take the Suns, bro.
I know the Suns are gonna they gonna
But even like a fit wise, like you think about it, like that fit, like the Harden, Paul George, Kawhi, like that's Harden perfect one. Paul George is the perfect two. Kawhi's the perfect three.
yeah,
Like
you
that,
did
like
just mean
Whoever
it's just like it's just I feel
plays
like
more.
we'll never I don't think we'll even see those two teams if Harden does go to LA. I don't think we'll ever see those teams at full health playing each other.
that would be crazy though. Like think about
Like
it. You got those six guys playing against each other.
it just someone's gonna be hurt. Like
That's a
so
crazy matchup.
which is like sad. Like someone's just gonna be injured and crippled. So it's just like
That is true.
it's like I don't know. The Clippers, I think it's a good if they actually like pull the gun on it, which I heard they really weren't like really even like
They're
really
not losing too much. I mean, Norman Powell probably
I
the
thought they were
just
really
the
were
main
hesitant.
player.
I thought they were like hesitant to like
But Rob Covington losing a good wing
Well, you could,
defender.
yeah, and being hesitant is not a good thing whenever your James Harden is in the conversation, and especially could we see another 50 to 60 pounds put on by Harden if they don't if they don't let him go? Is he going to go back to bulking mode and just sit out the entire
Go back to
season?
them strip clubs.
It's a Big Mama house suit. It's fake. But he don't like no. He's
Yeah,
dropping and gaining 25 weights day to day. It makes no sense.
that boy is crazy.
No.
Hey, that's going to do it for us today. That's episode 2 of Beyond the Scoreboard. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a fun one. We got a lot of information packed into this one here today, and we'll see you next time.